Okay, it's not the world's most exciting car, but 5.5 million customers can't be wrong. That's how many people have bought a Honda Jazz since it first went on sale in 2001. So perhaps it's no surprise that this new third generation model is, well, almost identical to the old one. So the Jazz follows the familiar concept of being a mini MPV, only this time its narrow yet tall body boasts a few more stylish creases in its bodywork. The Jazz has always been a practical car, and this new model, surprise surprise, is no different. Bear in mind that this is a small car and the boot is massive, massive, massive. See what I did there? Storage under the floor as well, and if this was Rebecca, she would have been organised and she would have had some cases to put in the boot. But you got me, and I'm not organised, and I don't have any cases to put in the boot, but it's okay, I can demonstrate how big the Jazz is because it fits a whole one of me. That's not funny. It's okay though, because we're in a Honda Jazz, so of course the seats fold to give a completely flat load bay. If I crawl through here. Now, bear in mind, this is smaller than a Ford Focus, and then look at the legroom on offer. There's loads of it, loads of headroom. I'm 5'10". This is set for me, so even taller adults are going to be absolutely fine in the back of a Jazz. The middle seat, however, is quite narrow, so although there's not much of a lump where the transmission tunnel is, I don't think adults are going to want to sit here for too long. But the Jazz does have one more party trick up its sleeve. These magic seats, as they are called, fold up like that so you can carry taller items. I reckon you could fit a whole Rebecca Jackson in there. Honda has also smartened up the Jazz's dash, and although the materials are still rather scratchy, the controls are clearly laid out and there's lots of useful storage compartments. I'm not completely convinced by this touchscreen though, which features quite a lot of fiddly sub-menus, although the sat-nav that you get on Navi models is very good. Also, the volume control has been replaced by this sort of touch thing here, which is just not very intuitive to use. What's wrong with a small knob? Speaking of small knobs, this gear lever is unusually small. It's like it's come straight from a sports car. That is the only sports car reference we'll be making in this review. Because, surprise surprise, the Jazz is not the most invigorating of cars to drive. Actually, maybe I'm being a bit unfair. The 1.3 litre petrol engine has 100 horsepower, it's the only engine available in the Jazz, and it's actually quite a revvy little thing. And the steering is reasonably direct. Fuel economy, meanwhile, 56 miles per gallon in official tests. We've been getting about 47 miles per gallon in our driving. Bear in mind that this car's only got 660 miles on the clock, so still got a bit of running in to be done. Refinement suffers if you go for the CVT automatic gearbox, although only if you rev it, and I'm not sure that's something that most Honda Jazz owners tend to do. There's a lot of wind and road noise at motorway speeds, and I'm not convinced about the ride either, which clatters through potholes and becomes all at sea when you start to push it. Although, again, not wanting to generalise, although I will anyway, I'm not sure that's going to bother most Jazz owners. So, the Jazz is still not a seat of the pants driver's car. You're shocked, aren't you? But the big story here is the reliability. Put simply, this thing is one of the most reliable cars you can buy. So while the warranty only lasts for 3 years, whereas Kia has 7 and Hyundai has 5, well, I guess it doesn't really matter if the car never goes wrong. The modest 100 horsepower output and prices starting from £13,500 also help to make the Jazz cheap to insure, while reasonably low emissions keep tax costs down too. The Jazz has never been the most exciting car to drive, and despite some improvements in that area, this new model doesn't really change that. However, if you want something that's going to be painless to live with and cheap to run, well, look no further. Business as usual then. Click up here and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you click up here you can go to the Telegraph Cars website and read reviews of the Jazz and many others.